जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। जय यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यमुना तीर वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। जय यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यमुना तीर वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय राधा श्याम सुंदर श्री राधे। जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम। जय गौरनिताय 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 जय गौरनिताय। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय शिला प्रभुपाद। निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर सत हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस श्री अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत महाराज स्वामी शिला प्रभुपाद की। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर सत हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस शिला भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज शिला प्रभुपाद की। अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की। नामाचार्य शिला हरदास ठाकुर की। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की। ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की। नवद्वीप श्री मायापुर धाम की। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की। गंगा माई जमुना माई की। सामवेद गौर भक्तवृंद की। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Gaur Hari Bol. So today we are reading from chapter 4. This is verse 22. Chapter 4 is entitled Transcendental Knowledge. And today we have 22nd verse. Yadṛcchā-lābha-santuṣṭo dvandvātīto vimatsaraḥ samaḥ siddhāv asiddhau ca kṛtvāpi न nibadhyate yadṛcchā-lābha-santuṣṭo dvandvātīto vimatsaraḥ samaḥ siddhāv asiddhau ca kṛtvāpi न nibadhyate yadṛcchā-lābha-santuṣṭo dvandvātīto vimatsaraḥ samaḥ siddhāv asiddhau ca kṛtvāpi न nibadhyate yadṛcchā-lābha-santuṣṭo dvandvātīto vimatsaraḥ kṛtvāpi न nibadhyate yadṛcchā-lābha-santuṣṭo dvandvātīto vimatsaraḥ samaḥ siddhāv asiddhau ca kṛtvāpi न nibadhyate yadṛcchā-lābha-santuṣṭo dvandvātīto vimatsaraḥ samaḥ siddhāv asiddhau ca kṛtvāpi न nibadhyate yadṛcchā-lābha-santuṣṭo dvandvātīto vimatsaraḥ समः सिद्धौ च kṛtvāpi न nibadhyate. Word to word meaning: yadṛcchā, out of its own accord, labh, with gain, santuṣṭaḥ, satisfied, dvandva, duality, atītaḥ, surpassed, vimatsaraḥ, free from envy, samaḥ, steady, siddhau, in success, asiddhau, failure, cha, also, kṛtvā, doing, api, although, na, never, na, nibadhyate, becomes affected. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Translation: he who is satisfied with gain which comes on its own accord, who is free from the duality and does not envy, who is steady in both success and failure, is never entangled although performing actions. So yadṛcchā-lābha-santuṣṭo means he is satisfied with whatever comes on its own accord. Dvandvātīto means he is free from the dualities. Vimatsaraḥ means does not envy anyone. Samaḥ, siddhau, asiddhau cha. Siddhau means in success and asiddhau means failure. So he is he is equivalent in both the situations. He is equipoised. Such a person is never entangled, na nibadhyate, kṛtvāpi, although performing the actions. Purport. Although it is a very small purport, but bear in mind, many times when we start reading this purport, the idea seems that, okay, it appears to be very nice, but how is it applicable to me? Because Prabhupada has described the characteristic of a person who is in fully transcendental stage. So it appears that, okay, it's very nice, but what about me? How is it applicable to me? Can I ever come to this platform? Many times when we read such purports, the first thing that comes in our mind is this. So we'll discuss this. Let us read it first. Purport. A Kṛṣṇa conscious person does not make much endeavor even to maintain his body. He is satisfied with gains which are obtained on their own accord. He neither begs nor borrows, but he labors honestly as far as is in his power, and is satisfied with whatever is obtained by its own honest labor. He is therefore independent in his livelihood. He does not allow anyone's service to hamper his own service in Kṛṣṇa consciousness. However, for the service of the Lord, he can participate in any kind of action without being disturbed by the duality of the material world. The duality of the material world is felt in the terms of heat and cold, or misery and happiness. A Kṛṣṇa conscious person is above duality because he does not hesitate to act in any way for the satisfaction of Kṛṣṇa. Therefore, he is steady both in success and in failure. These signs are visible when one is fully in transcendental knowledge. So these are the characteristics of a person who is fully in transcendental knowledge. But many times the goal appears to be too lofty, to be satisfied in whatever comes on its own accord. Are we? Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. He Shri Sanatana Prabho Karunambarashe हे रूप दुर्गत जनैक दयावलोक हे भट्ट युग्म सुमते रघुनाथ दास श्री जीव में कुरुत मंद मतेर दयांतरात् प्रपन्न पारिजाताय तोत्र वेत्रैक पाणये ज्ञान मुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paśyatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Yo anta pravishya mama vācamimāṃ prasuptāṃ sanjīvayatya khila shakti dhara swadhamna anyamsha hasta charana shramana tvagadīn prāṇān namo bhagavate purushāya tubhyam hridayasya preranaya pravartitoham varagarupopi tasya hare padakamalam vande Shri Chaitanya Devasya. Hare Krishna. So today we are discussing chapter 4th. The chapter is entitled Transcendental Knowledge. So basically in this chapter, Karma Yoga is discussed in detail. So we'll look little bit the verses that are coming before this verse also. In short we'll see, and then this verse will make more sense. So the till here, the text 22, before this, from Shlok 1st to Shlok 10. Actually, this entire Bhagavad Gita can be divided into 3 parts. The first part of the Bhagavad Gita primarily focuses on Karma Yoga, the first 6 chapters, and how that Karma Yoga culminates into Bhakti Yoga. The last 6 chapters, they focus more on Jnana Yoga, and how that Jnana Yoga culminates into Bhakti Yoga. And the middle 6 chapters primarily focus on Bhakti. Vishwanath Chakravarti explains, just like if you take a jeweled box, a box that has a jewel within it, so the top lid can be compared to the Karma Yoga. The bottom base is compared to the Jnana Yoga. And the priceless gem that is kept within that box is compared to Bhakti Yoga. So we are in the Karma Yoga chapters of Bhagavad Gita. So this 4th chapter primarily focuses on Karma Yoga. The first 10 shlokas focus that how Kṛṣṇa is the establisher of dharma. Kṛṣṇa creates and he establishes and he maintains that dharma by the process of parampara system. The first shlok, very famous, it says that Shri Bhagavan Vacha imam vyasvate yogam proktavan aham avyayam vyasvan manve praha mano ikshvakave abravit. That Kṛṣṇa is telling to Arjun that I spoke this avyaya, imperishable knowledge, to Vivasvan. Vivasvan is the sun god. Vivasvan spoke it to Manu, and Manu spoke it to Ikshvaku. Like that he is telling. So this knowledge that is avyaya, imperishable, was transferred in a line of disciplic succession from Vivasvan to Manu to Ikshvaku. Like that. So somebody may say that why Kṛṣṇa spoke this knowledge to only kings. So actually one of the title in the 9th chapter you see Rajavidya, the king of all knowledge. So one of the meaning that Acharyas have explained is that this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is for kings. So what does it mean? Actually the main duty of the king is to protect the citizens. Now protection from the external enemies is one. But along with that, the citizens need protection from the internal enemies, the vices that are there, lust, greed, envy, so on and so forth. Time and again in Bhagavad Gita, Kṛṣṇa has explained how this lust, this kam, is the formidable enemy of the living entity. Jahi Shatrum Mahabaho Kama Rupam Durasadam. O mighty armed Arjuna, just kill this formidable enemy lust. Jnanino Nitya Vairina. This kam, this lust, is the greatest enemy of the vice, of the Jnani. So time and again, all these vices have been called as the enemy of the living entity. So the duty of the king is not only to protect the citizens from the external dangers, but also to protect the citizens from the internal vices. How they can do that? When they are equipped with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So this knowledge is very important, particularly for the leaders. So many times people criticize ISKCON, that ISKCON is only preaching to some classes, to some big people. Why ISKCON is not going to villages? Why ISKCON is not preaching to some poor people? Many times people criticize like that. But the main point is that this is not discrimination. This is prioritization. For example, there is this society that is called Red Cross. Red Cross Society generally takes care of the people who are injured in the war. So there also they prioritize, okay, this fellow is on the verge of dying, so no need to spend so much time on him. But this fellow, he has a chance of survival. If we can save him, so they give more time on that. So we need to prioritize in life. Similarly, the strategy that we are following is preach to the classes. And when the classes are preached, automatically the message will be spread to the masses. In history also, this has been a phenomena. For example, Christianity was spread only when there was a handshake between the intellectual class and the administrative class. For the almost 3 centuries, Christianity faced severe persecution by the Roman Empire. Only when in the 3rd, 4th century it became the official religion. We see Buddhism also spread in the similar way. When it was adopted by Ashoka, then it spread all over the world. The ideas of Karl Marx were there earlier also, but when Lenin and Stalin took up this communism, it is spread. Correct, right? We see that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Prataprudra Maharaj. Then also Gaudiya Vaishnavism spread. So the point is that whenever there is a collaboration between the Brahmanas, the intellectual class, and the administrative class, then any system of spiritual civilization can spread far and wide. That is why it's very important for the kings to have this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. That is why you see Prabhupada also wrote many letters to the leaders, to Indira Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, Mahatma Gandhi, because when they take to this process of Krishna consciousness and advertise it, then automatically the masses will accept it. So Krishna says that I gave this message of Bhagavad Gita to Vyasvan, Vyasvan gave it to Manu, and Manu gave it to Ikshvaku. Like that it was spread by the parampara process, by the chain of disciplic succession, but in the due course of time it was lost. Now I am giving you this knowledge because you are my friend and you are not envious of me. So I am giving you this message. Now immediately Arjun gets a question that Krishna, you are very contemporary to me. You and I are almost of the same age, but Sun God is so old. How are you telling that you gave this knowledge to Sun God? So Arjuna started explaining, Krishna started explaining that actually you and me have a lot of births before also. It's not that this is our first birth. I know all of them, but you have forgotten that. So you see, Krishna has time and again emphasized on the quality of Shraddha, faith, that one should have faith on this message of Bhagavad Gita. But whenever there is some proper inquiry, that is encouraged also. It's not that we should have blind faith. Faith is very nice, but whenever we have some inquiries, then they are entertained, even by Lord also. So Bhagavan, Krishna, he started explaining that you and I have a lot of births before this also. But you have forgotten all that, but I remember that. And then Krishna started explaining the divinity of his own form. He says, Ajopisan avyayatma bhutanam ishwaropisan prakritim swam adhisthaya sambhavami atmamayaya. That although I am Aja, I am unborn, avyayatma, I am imperishable, and bhutanam ishwaropisan, I am the master of all the living entities, but taking help of my own internal energy, atmamaya, I appear into this world. Sambhavami Atmamaya. I take help of my own internal energy. So he is telling about the divinity of his own appearance, that he is born out of his own internal energy. It is not that he is forced to take birth. We, the living entities, are forced to take birth in this planet or any other planet. Karmana dev netrena jantur dehopapattaye. Striya pravishta udaram pumso reta kanashra. Kapil Dev mentions that on accounts of one's own karmic activity, a living entity is forced to enter into the womb of a mother. So, but Krishna comes on his own sweet will. He is not forced by someone. Why he comes? To benefit the living entity. And he comes on his own will. Prabhupada explains, just like a president and a criminal, sometimes both of them enter the jail. But president enters to take an overview what is happening within the jail. But the criminal is forced to enter into the jail. So that is the difference. Krishna takes birth or he appears on his own sweet will. But the living entity, he appears because he is forced by the material energy to take birth in a particular family situation. One does not have any choice. If everyone has choice where to take birth, they will take birth in the wealthiest family. But it doesn't happen like that, right? So we are forced to take birth. So this is the difference between the appearance of Kṛṣṇa and the living entity taking birth. And Kṛṣṇa says that whenever there is a decline in religion and a rise in the irreligion, then I appear in my self-sufficient form. And taking that form, I destroy the evil people and protect my devotees. So the main function is to protect the devotees, to console the devotees. Kṛṣṇa is self-sufficient. He can do all the activities through his shaktis. Parasya shakti vividhai shruyate swabhaviki jnana bala kriyacha. Kṛṣṇa has a lot of shaktis, a lot of energies. He doesn't need to come personally to kill the demons. Just by his mere desire, the demons will be killed. But he comes for what? Paritranaya sadhunam, to show compassion on all the living entities, especially his devotees. His devotees want to see him, want to reciprocate some feelings with him. To show compassion, to show mercy on them, Kṛṣṇa comes. Jivera karane asya prapanche lila koile suvistar. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that for the benefit of the living entity, Lord comes into this material world. When Lord comes, he performs very sweet and melodious pastimes. And when the living entity see those pastimes, hear about them, read about them, discuss about them, their avidya, ignorance, is destroyed. Their bodily identification is destroyed. They start identifying themselves as the servant of Kṛṣṇa. So this is for the benefit of the living entities, and especially for his devotees who are facing a lot of disturbance from the evil people. At the same time, they are separated from the Lord for a long period of time. So Lord comes and performs various pastimes with them, and they feel engladdened. After this, Kṛṣṇa explained that Jarma Karma Chame Devyam Evam Yo Veti Tatvatah Tektva Deham Punarjanma Nayati Mameti Swarjana. Don't think that my birth and activities are like some common activities. They are divya, they are transcendental. And what to say of my birth and activities being transcendental? Anybody who hears about them, he also becomes transcendental. So Kṛṣṇa's Janma and his activities, his birth and his activities, both are divya, they are transcendental. We see when Kṛṣṇa is born in the prison house, then he is born in the, he appears in 4 round forms, and he has a curly lock of hair on his head. Have you seen any baby being born like that? All babies are born bald, they don't have any hair. But he is with 4 arms, and in those 4 arms there is Shankh, Chakra, Gada and Padra. All the apparatus, all the whatever he carries, everything is there. And he is decorated with very fine ornaments. There is kaustubh jewel, and there is armlets, bracelet, anklets, waist belt, and dazzling pitambar is there. But we see the children in this world, they are born naked. So there is a gulf of difference between Kṛṣṇa appearing and other children being taking birth. When other children take birth, then they cry, but Kṛṣṇa was smiling when he took birth. Other children, they are almost like an animal. They don't know what to do, what not to do. Only thing they know is to cry. But when Kṛṣṇa, he appeared, he started telling about the past lives of his own parents. There are 2 lives before. You are Prishnigarva and Prishni and Sutapa. After that you are Kashyap and Aditi, and now here you are come as Vasudeva and Devaki. So this is the difference between Kṛṣṇa and other living entities. That is why his birth and his activities, they are both transcendental. And one who hears them, have faith on them and understand them as it is, he leaves this body and never takes birth again. Then what is the impediment in understanding the divinity of the birth and the pastimes of Kṛṣṇa? He says in 10th shloka, Vita Rag Bhaya Krodha. So there are 3 impediments, Rag, Bhay and Krodha. Rag means asakti, attachment to this material world. So materialists, they are attached to this material world. Then Bhaya, fear. Fear of what? You see, the impersonalists, they are fearful of the form. They say that wherever there is form, there has to be ignorance. So they say, if you are assuming that spiritual reality also has form, that means there will be ignorance there also. This goes to show that spiritual reality doesn't have form. This is the conclusion of the impersonalist. but they don't know that actually the spiritual form is Satchidanand. It is eternal, it is full of knowledge, and it is bliss. So they fear of having form. So this fear. And krodha. Krodha means anger. So there are so many philosophies that are there all around, and sometimes people get confused what to follow and what not to follow. They say everything is void. This is Buddhist philosophy. So the attachment of the materialist, the fear of the impersonalist, and the anger of the voidist, this has to be overcome in order to understand the divinity of the pastimes of Kṛṣṇa. And how it will be done? Bhavo jnana tapsa, by the austerity of knowledge. Austerity of knowledge about Kṛṣṇa. Many times when we come to Kṛṣṇa consciousness, hearing about Kṛṣṇa becomes austerity. Chanting about Kṛṣṇa's name becomes austerity. I remember one of the very senior person, first time I gave him the mala beads, and he started chanting and saying, "Arey, khatam hi nahi ho raha hai." When is it going to finish? This is so long. So many times chanting becomes austerity. Hearing becomes austerity. Correct, right? So this austerity has to be performed in the beginning in order to understand the divinity of the pastimes of the Kṛṣṇa. So this is the first section of this chapter. Next section from 11 to 15 talks about that within dharma also there are many paths, and Kṛṣṇa is the creator of all these paths. So he says, very famous slok, ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajamyaham mam vartman vartante manushya partha sarvasa. Devotees most often quote the first line, ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajam, and the impersonalists, they quote the second line more often. We'll discuss little bit. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajamyaham. As one surrenders unto Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa also reciprocates accordingly. This shows that Kṛṣṇa is reciprocal. He is not like a dumb stone. There are some people who understand the divinity of the pastimes, name, form, qualities of Kṛṣṇa. So Kṛṣṇa makes their name, their form, and their activities also transcendental. Means Kṛṣṇa takes them back to his own spiritual abode. Then there are some people who say, no, Kṛṣṇa's form is illusion and his body is material. So Kṛṣṇa makes their body also material. Means life after life they are forced to transmigrate among the 84 lakh species of life. There are some people who approach Kṛṣṇa for getting some material benefits. Kṛṣṇa gives them material benefits also. There are yet other people who say that no, Kṛṣṇa is actually void, so Kṛṣṇa makes their existence also void. So it depends upon what attitude, with what attitude we are approaching Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa will, needless to say, without any hesitation, give that desire to him, with whatever desire we approach to him. Somebody may say, oh, but we are also aspiring for Kṛṣṇa. Why are we not getting Kṛṣṇa? But the point is that we do aspire, but that aspiration is not permanent. We aspire for some time, and then we also aspire for some other things also. Correct, right? Okay, I should get an opportunity to serve Kṛṣṇa, but along with that, I should have a nice house also. And then there should be AC also. So all those things are also are required. That goes to show that the necessity of Kṛṣṇa is not absolute. It's relative. But Kṛṣṇa is a jealous lover. He doesn't tolerate the other desires within the heart of the devotees. So long we have only Kṛṣṇa as our desire, then only we are going to get Kṛṣṇa. So, ye yatha mam prapadyante tams tathaiva bhajamyaham. And then second line says, mam vartmanu vartante manushya partha sarvasa. All the living entities, they are on my path only. So impersonalists, they interpret it as that whatever you do is a worship of Kṛṣṇa. Whatever path you take, actually it goes back to Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa says, mam vartma anuvartante manushya partha sarvasa. All the living entities, they are following my path also. So now point is that if all the paths lead to the same goal, and whatever you do is actually dharma and everything, then what is the need of scriptures? What is the need of Bhagavad Gita? If fighting or not fighting doesn't make any sense, why at all Kṛṣṇa spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna? Correct, right? Then we see that there are very categorical statements even in Bhagavad Gita. We say that the destinations will be different. Yanti devrata devan, pitrin yanti pitrvaja, bhutani yanti bhuteja, yanti madhya jinopimam. That those who worship the demigods, they go to the abodes of the demigods. Those who worship the pitaras, the forefathers, they go to them. Those who worship the ghosts, hobgoblins, they become ghosts, they go to their lok. And those who worship me, they come back to me. So these statements are very categorical. Urdhvam gacchanti sattvastha, madhye tishtanti rajasa, jaganna gunvrittistha, adho gacchanti tamasa. So this goes to show that the destinations are different according to the path that one follows. Then what does this statement mean? This statement means that everybody at the end is searching for Kṛṣṇa only, because everybody is searching for happiness. Everybody is searching for peace. Everybody is searching for some satisfaction in life. And that satisfaction, that happiness and that peace one can get only when one comes in contact with Kṛṣṇa. Even when somebody is taking the sense gratification of this world, actually one is searching Kṛṣṇa within that, because Kṛṣṇa is the source of all happiness. Kṛṣṇa is the source of all bliss. Kṛṣṇa is the source of all satisfaction. No matter what we do in this world, if we are not connected to Kṛṣṇa, we are not going to get that happiness, that satisfaction, that peace. So in whatever way people are approaching Kṛṣṇa, or people are approaching different paths, different dharma, actually everyone wants Kṛṣṇa, because everybody wants happiness, peace, satisfaction in life. So this is the meaning of this second line. Then Kṛṣṇa says that I only have created the 4 varnas and 4 ashramas. Chaturvarnyam maya srishtam guna karma vibhagasha. It is according to one's guna and karma, one's qualities and activities. It is not just on the basis of birth. And it's very important. This varnashram system is an easy way to attain Kṛṣṇa. Varna means that how to increase your spiritual commitment as the time progresses. This is varna system. And ashram system means according to one's own psychophysical tendencies, how to easily earn our livelihood, how to maintain this body, at the same time approach Kṛṣṇa. This is varnashram system, short. And Kṛṣṇa has only established this. And he says that although I do activities, I am not afflicted by them, because I don't want the results of my activities. So you should do work. Now from 16 to 24 actually is fully on karma yoga. Now this theme started in the last chapter only, and all of a sudden in between Arjun asked the question, Atha kena prayuktoyam papam charati purusha anichchanapi varshnaya baladiva niyochita. That what is that force within me, oh Kṛṣṇa, that is forcing me to do wrong things, although I don't want to do. So all of a sudden in between Arjun asked this question, and there was a deviation. So Kṛṣṇa started answering that question, and whole of the 3rd chapter, the last portion of the 3rd chapter ended in that. In the 4th chapter, Kṛṣṇa wanted to again start karma yoga, then told that I gave this knowledge to Vivaswan and so on and so forth. And again Arjun asked the question that how did you give this knowledge to Vivaswan? You and I are both contemporary. Kṛṣṇa started explaining his own divinity, the divinity of his own birth and activities, the divinity of his own characteristics, and it went on till 15 number shloka. Again from 16 number shloka, Kṛṣṇa started explaining about karma yoga. And in karma, one need to understand what is karma, what is akarma, what is vikarma. Even the intelligent people, they are bewildered by this. And in 18th shloka he says, karmani akarma yah pashyet akarmani cha karma yah sa buddhiman manusyeshu sayuktah Kṛṣṇa karma krita. That one who sees action and inaction in action. This is both a tongue twister and a brain twister. Action in inaction and inaction in action is actually an intelligent among men, and is transcendental position, although engaged in all sorts of activities. So we need to understand this karma and akarma. In 2 minutes we'll discuss, and we come to today's slogan. Oh, time is. So one who sees karma in akarma and akarma in karma. So generally this word karma should be understood as per the context. The word karma should be understood as per the context. Many times this word karma is used for activities, general activities that we do. You say karma karo, do your activities. Right? So this is the general activities. Second thing, the word karma is also used for the fruits of the result, fruits of the activities. You will have to bear the karma for this heinous activity. So karma is used for the results, fruits. The word karma is also used for the action and fruits system. The laws of karma are very stringent. This is third meaning. And the word karma is also used for the activities which are prescribed by the scriptures. Karma, akarma, vikarma. So karma means the activities which are prescribed by the scriptures. The word karma is also used for that. The word akarma means it is also used in many senses. For example, one of the meaning of akarma is inaction, not to do any activity. This is called akarma. Or another thing is you do an activity in such a way that the result of that activity is not generated. For example, a soldier, he is killing so many people on the battlefield, but he is not getting the result for that. He is not getting punishment for that. So he is doing such an activity for that results are not generated. This is also called akarma. Akarma means inaction, and akarma also means those activities which don't produce any result. Now we'll see this shloka. Karmani akarma yaha pashyet. One who sees akarma in karma means one is doing activities. One is doing activity, but that is not producing any result. This is called karmani akarma. For example, Srila Prabhupada went to West. It is told that for a sannyasi, he should not cross the ocean. But Prabhupada crossed the ocean. But it was not for his own sense gratification. He wanted to fulfill the orders of his own spiritual master. So although he performed some activity which was actually not allowed by the scriptures, but it did not bear any fruit. So this is called karmani akarma. Arjun fought on the advice of Kṛṣṇa. So he was killed so many people, but he did not get any evil reaction. This is called karmani akarma. Means people are doing activity, but is not getting the fruits of that activity. Second thing is akarmani karmaya pashyet. In the inaction, akarmani means inaction, not doing any activity. One sees that he is incurring some karma, some result for the future. For example, a police is there and he is seeing a person being robbed. Now he is not doing anything. He says, I am not doing anything. But he is responsible for doing something, right? A patient is about to die in front of the doctor, and doctor can cure him, but he doesn't do anything. He says, I am not doing anything. But he will be held responsible for that. It is his duty to do something, right? So he is akarmani karmaya pashyes. So he is intelligent. Now this topic is more elaborated from 19 to 24. In the today's verse, from 19 to 24, actually the verses that are there, that are giving the qualities of a karma yogi. What is the knowledge of a karma yogi? That is not bound by those activities. So not discuss all of them because we have less time. We'll directly go to 22nd. These activities or these qualities, they are prescriptive as well as descriptive. They are describing a karma yogi. What are the qualities of a karma yogi? At the same time, they are also prescribing what should be our thought pattern if we don't want to incur any karma. Or even if we are practicing bhakti, these qualities are very much an integral part of bhakti and they help in bhakti. Prabhupada has described all these activities in the sense that all these activities are already there in a Krishna conscious person. So it says yadṛcchā-lābha-santuṣṭo. Yadṛcchā-lābha-santuṣṭo means whatever comes on its own accord, one is satisfied with that. What does it mean? Does it mean that the devotee doesn't do anything? He sits and then waits for whatever comes? No, it doesn't happen like that. Kṛṣṇa himself condemns this attitude. Karmaṇyevadhikāraste ma phaleshu kadāchana ma karmafal hetubhu mate sangastu akarmani. That karmaṇyevadhikāraste, you have the right to do activities. Ma phaleshu kadāchana, but you don't have the right for the fruits of the activities. Then ma karmafal hetubhu, whatever karmafal, whatever fruits come, don't think that you are the doer. And mate sangastu akarmani, don't get attached to not performing your activities. So Kṛṣṇa is saying perform your activity, don't get attached to not performing your activities. So it doesn't mean that a devotee sits on its own, but what does it mean? Whatever comes on its own accord. Yadṛcchā means on its own accord. Lābha-santuṣṭo, he is satisfied with that. General tendency in this world is that people are not satisfied and people want to over endeavor. But by doing over endeavor, what happens? Bhakti is destroyed. And even if you over endeavor, it's not that you will get something extra. Everything, the material enjoyment, material facilities that we are supposed to get in our life, they are predestined to some extent. It is predestined. It's not that if you over endeavor, you will get more. Sometimes it may happen that you may get more than your destiny, but then police will take it, or doctors will take it, or some lawyer will take it, or some of your family member will only take it. So it's not that by over endeavoring you will get more. For example, sometimes if you travel in some international flight, then they ask from previously only that what you will take in the flight. You will take veg or non-veg. In veg, you will take grains or you will take fruits, and what you will take. You will take milk or what you will take. So you have to tick in that form. And if you take that I will take veg, I will take fruits, then other thing won't be given to you. Even if, let's say, you have something kept in your bag, and that bag is kept within the another compartment, then you will not get bag within the middle of your flight, even though it belongs to you. Similarly, our quota of all the fruits that we will get in this world is fixed. More or less, it is fixed. You will not get more or will not get less. So over endeavoring only destroys the time that is supposed to be given to Kṛṣṇa. That is why Prahlad Maharaj says, Tat prayaso na kartavyam yad ayu vyah param na tatha vindate chemam mukunda charanambujam. That you should not over endeavor for the material thing. Tat prayaso na kartavyam yad ayu vyah chanam. Only the life is getting wasted if you are endeavoring for the material facilities. That time is supposed to be given to Kṛṣṇa. If you do like that, na tatha vindate chemam mukunda charanambujam. You will not get the auspicious lotus feet of the Mukunda, the deliverer of the living entity. So point is that everybody, each of us is looking for some happiness, for some satisfaction, and that satisfaction we are trying to get from the things of this world, and for that we over endeavor. But the point is that the more we over endeavor for happiness, the more misery we get. Prahlad Maharaj says, Yasmat priya priya viyoga sanyoga heta kamagnina sakal, like that something can. Dahyamana and dukkha shadam tadapi dukkham atadhyaham bhuman brahmam vadme tavadasya yogam. He says that in each and every species of life, people want two things. They want that all the happiness should come to me and all the misery should go away. And for that they are struggling. They are coming up with new and new ideas. But dukkha shadam tadapi dukkham atadhyaham. There is dukkha, there is misery, and they are coming for some counteraction. Dukkha aushadham. They are coming for some counteraction for that dukkha. But it is atadhya, it is increasing more and more. The misery is increasing more and more. That is why he says, Bhuman brahmami vadame tavadasya yogam. Hey Bhuman, O Almighty Lord, please teach me how to serve your lotus feet. So actually, it is the constitutional position of the living entity to serve the Supreme Lord, and then only the living entity can be satisfied. If the living entity is not serving the Supreme Lord and trying to accumulate the things on this world, then he will not be satisfied, no matter what he does. Bhagavatam says, Harir sakshat bhagvat shariranam atma jashanam yavatoyam rupam. That all the living entities, the Lord Hari is so dear to them, just like the water is dear to the aquatics. If you take a fish out of water and take the fish in a Mercedes Benz or Tesla, in the Tesla you take that fish on a 7-star hotel, and there you feed all the nice 24-course meal, and then put some iPhone near that fish. Will that fish be happy? No. Fish can only be satisfied when the fish comes in contact with water. Water is the primordial necessity for the fish. Similarly, for the living entity, the connection to Kṛṣṇa, Hari, is the primordial necessity. No matter what one does, without that, one will not be satisfied. So one needs to understand that. A devotee understands this thing, and that engages in the sadhana bhakti. Actually, the purport is more for a advanced devotee, one who is fully in the transcendental knowledge. But we are not in fully transcendental knowledge. We need to use our intelligence and understand the things of this world will not be able to satisfy that. no matter what we do. Prabhupada says that he is satisfied with the gains which are obtained on their own accord. He neither begs nor borrows. And he does not endeavor even to maintain his body. Actually, this body is for understanding Kṛṣṇa. That is the primary objective in life. The primary objective in life is not just to maintain the body. For example, a person goes to college. Now the primary objective of that person is to study there, get a degree there, get a job from there. Now imagine he says that the food in the mess is not so good, and I will cook my own food. He goes to Sabji Mandi, vegetable market, and then he invests 2 hours there to take the best vegetables from there, fresh vegetables, come back to his room, and then cooks for 3 hours, seeing the Wonder Chef and all that. So 5 hours he cooks, and then after that he eats heavy, and then after that he sleeps. So okay, that is one necessity to eat. Some endeavors have to be done for that, but that is not the primary objective. Similarly, a devotee needs to understand, okay, body needs to be taken care, because this body is a vehicle to cross this ocean of material existence. Imagine we are in the ocean and we are sitting on a boat, and the boat starts to fall apart. Then we need to take care of boat also, because we cannot cross the ocean without boat. Similarly, this body is like a boat for crossing this ocean of material existence. So we need to take care of that. But this is not the primary objective. This is not the sole objective. Primary objective is to connect to Kṛṣṇa. So whatever takes least effort, we should accept that. So yadṛcchā-lābha-santuṣṭo, and the devotees vimatsaraḥ, without any envy. So this envy, this material word, this is the primary characteristic, envy. Envy means somebody is having better facilities, material facilities, so you start envying them. We don't tolerate the advancement of others in the material circle. That is called envy. Actually, the root of this envy is the envy towards Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa says in Bhagavad Gita, Bhoktaram yagitapsam sarvalok maheshwaram suhridam sarvabhutanam gyatva mam shantim richati. One who understands these three things, he attains peace. We'll end in 5 minutes, just 5 minutes. So, Bhoktaram yagitapsam. Kṛṣṇa says that he is the Bhokta, he is the supreme enjoyer. And he is the proprietor, supreme proprietor of all the planets. And Sarvalok Maheshwaram, this is the proprietor. And Suhridam Sarvabhutanam, he is the well-wisher of all the living entities. Now, whenever we envy somebody, actually we are envying Kṛṣṇa only. Kṛṣṇa is the supreme proprietor. Proprietor means all the Sarvalok Maheshwaram, all the planets, all the planetary system, everything that is there within that actually belongs to Kṛṣṇa. For example, we say I own this house. So it doesn't mean I just own the building. Whatever there is there within that, the furniture, the fridge, everything belongs to me. Correct, right? Similarly, when Kṛṣṇa says I am the proprietor of all the planetary system, it means that all the planets, all the resources that are there actually belongs to Kṛṣṇa. Even our bodies belong to Kṛṣṇa. The senses that we have, it belongs to Kṛṣṇa. The ability of the senses, that belongs to Kṛṣṇa. Our speaking ability, if somebody can speak very nicely, it belongs to Kṛṣṇa. If somebody can sing very nicely, it belongs to Kṛṣṇa. The ability of the eyes to see, it belongs to Kṛṣṇa. So when one starts taking credit for all the qualities or the accolades, credentials one has, it is like envying Kṛṣṇa only. Because Kṛṣṇa is the supreme proprietor. Whatever qualities that we have and whatever qualities that others have actually comes from Kṛṣṇa. So whenever we are envying some qualities that is there within some other person, some other devotee, actually we are envying the spark of Kṛṣṇa that is there within that devotee. Do you understand? The abilities comes from Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa says, I am the intelligence of the intelligent. I am the strength of the strong. So all the abilities are actually coming from Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa is manifesting his qualities through that person. And when we are envying that person, actually we are envying Kṛṣṇa, the manifestation of Kṛṣṇa within that person. So the root of all the envy that is there, actually it is the envy towards Kṛṣṇa. Whenever we try to enjoy the objects of this world, it's like Bhoktaram Yagatapsam. We say, I am the enjoyer. Kṛṣṇa says, no, I am the enjoyer. We say, no, I am the enjoyer. So it is like competing with Krishna. And Sarvalok Maheshwaram. Krishna is the eternal well-wisher of everyone. Sometimes we try to help some people, and from the front, in front of that person or in front of the society, we may say, no, actually Krishna has done everything. But within the heart of heart, we say, no, actually I have done. Correct, right? There was one NGO that said, God sends disaster, we send relief. This is like envy towards Krishna. Sarvalok Maheshwaram. Krishna says, I am the Sarvalok Maheshwaram. They say, no, we are the Sarvalok Maheshwaram. So this is the envy towards Krishna. So whatever envy we have towards the people of this world, actually that is the envy towards Krishna. So we need to understand this and acknowledge this in the first stage. When we acknowledge this, then only there is some opportunity of getting over it. If we don't acknowledge it, then we will be caught in this venom of birth and death again and again. The first thing is we need to acknowledge this. This envy even creeps within the spiritual circle also. Some devotee is doing very nice seva, and he say, there is some pride within his heart. When we do that seva, actually it is our spiritual emotions towards the Lord. But when the other devotee is doing, there is lot of pride within his heart. So actually this is envy within the heart that makes us see the pride within the other devotees. Sometimes there is some pride within our heart that makes us see the envy of other devotees. So these things are very minute. We need to take shelter of Krishna. We need to take shelter of the holy names of Krishna. Then only we'll get the intelligence in the first place to see this. Otherwise these things just skip from our mind. We don't focus on this only. A devotee understands that actually this world is like a hospital. Just like in a hospital, we see that there are many patients. Some patients, they may be eating full meal because they are fully cured. But there are other patients who are given only dal roti, khichdi. So a person who is given khichdi, he understands that this is the diet for me. It is given to me by Krishna, the physician. But other person is more cured, so he can be given more. So we need to understand this. And the root cause of this envy is envy towards Krishna. And what is the cure? Cure is Srimad Bhagavatam. Cure is the holy name of the Lord. The very qualification to read Srimad Bhagavatam is one should be non-envious. Dharma projit kaitottra paramo nirmatsaranam satam. There is a nirmatsaranam satam. It is for those satam, for those people who are free from envy. So if we are not free from envy, how we will understand the message of Srimad Bhagavatam? We may become erudite scholars of Srimad Bhagavatam. We may quote the shlokas left, right, top, bottom, center, but we will not understand the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam unless one is non-envious. So a devotee is yadṛcchā-lābha-santuṣṭo, is free from envy, and because of that he is dvandvātīto, he is free from dualities. And one of the aspects is samaḥ siddhau asiddhau. Even if he gets success or he gets failure, he is equipoised. Why is he equipoised? Because he understands that I am doing everything for Krishna. Whether I get success or I get failure, he is equipoised. For example, a person who is hired in a shop for selling, let's say, sari or some sandals, whatever. In a sandal shop, a person is hired for selling sandals. Now he sells these sandals, but sometimes lot of customer comes, and sometimes very few customers come. Many times no customers also come. But it doesn't affect the person who is showing the sandals and selling that, because it is the headache of owner. Correct, right? So devotee understand, whether I get success or failure, it is the headache of Krishna. I will do my service towards Krishna. This is what I need to do. So he is samaḥ siddhau siddhau cha. Okay, it is already 5 minutes ahead. We'll end there. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samved Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari.